Hey, welcome back. Happy Monday. So excited to be back here with you guys as always and starting a brand new week. How are you, Sarah?
Good. 10 days into January. Unbelievable.
It really is, right? And I think we talk about that every time and it's so funny because it's real. Like that's how fast life goes. It's nuts.
It goes in an instant. I was you and we're in a mastermind and we're studying like the Course of Miracles, and I was reading it this morning, and it's like time does go by, and but we're so focused on the future. We're so focused on the future that we're not focused in the present moment and what it is that we do in the present moment, because we truly believe that we are guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Absolutely. And I used to live that way. I think most people do because most people don't ever take the second to slow down and realize that like we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And I think most people realize that when there's like a big impact in their life and something happens to make them slow down. But yeah, we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Like sickness, death, right? Loss of a job, loss of income. Like, yeah, we're not guaranteed that.
Yeah. So today we're so excited to talk on a topic that is so true. And Sarah's reading a book right now, and this is one of the things that they're talking about in the book, and it's so true. It's a positive mind fuels success in work and in your life, right? So if you think about life, if you think about work being a part of it, but all areas of your life, you can see your happy meter, like where your meter is in regards to your true happiness. And happiness, I think, covers all areas of your life, right? It covers income, it covers um things that you can actually afford and get into your life. It covers your sex life, it covers your work life. Like happiness covers everything. So when you look at your life and where your meter is, what are you thinking all the time? Is it positive or negative?
So true, right? Like, it's so true. We just kind of get through the day. Like, have you ever asked somebody, like, "Are you happy?" And they're like, "Yeah, I like my job. I'm good at my job. I'm happy. I like my car. I like my wife, and I like my kids. Yeah, I'm happy." You're happy with those things, right? You're happy with the things that you have in your life, but are you truly happy? Like, can you look inside and be like, I am blissfully happy. There was a
Mhm.
long time that I wasn't. There was a long time that I was just kind of, what is it called? Fake it till you make it, right? I was faking it. And it's something that I don't like to do. And I'm very raw and honest with my followers, right? People who follow me, I post about my good days and my bad days because I'm a human being. I'm going to have good days and bad days. But here's the thing, is that you can change it. You have the everything inside of you to change it. Happiness is not the belief that we don't need to change. It is the realization that we can, right? So I suffer from depression. I suffered from depression so bad that I wanted to end my life more than once. Like, it was, what's the point? Like, this is the thoughts that I was saying. And I remember used to saying it to my husband. I was be so depressed and say, I just want to burn the house down and walk away from everything. And the look on his face, like the look on his face would be heartbreaking. And then it was in that instant when I looked at him, that's like, it's not fair to him. It's not fair to him for me to say that when he's trying to build a life with me. So I had to make the decision to change.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's usually not until we get to a place in our life like that where we really understand that we need to change it. Because people can go months, years, like literally some people will go decades through their life not even being aware of their thoughts and what they're thinking. Like I've
Yep.
talked to people and I still talk to people who are in their 50s, 60s, and they've went in 20, 30 years and they're like, I really never thought of it. Like literally some people go years and don't think about what they're thinking about.
It's true because they follow a system, right? So when your life is set out for you the moment that you're born, your parents are like, "Oh my gosh, you're going to have the best. You're going to have better than me. You're going to go to the best school. Maybe I'll even put you in private school and then you're going to go to Harvard and then you're going to have babies and then you're going to work, you're going to be a doctor and then you're going to work 900 hours a week and then still expect you to have a happy marriage after working all of those hours every single week and have your kids grown and you're going to teach your kids, but how are you teaching your kids when you're working all those hours every single week and you're trying to have sex with your spouse, right? Like, and try to do normal life things, and then you're going to retire. Well, in between that section of Harvard and retirement, it is go, 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 and everything is planned. Play dates are planned, birthday parties are planned, vacations are planned in advance, sex is scheduled on the calendar. The grandparents are going to pick up the kids on this day, so you can have a little bit of fun. And it's like forced. It's forced happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking today, I do a lot of thinking when I'm in the bathroom, right? Like most of us do. And I was thinking, I'm like, I was thinking about cave people, right? Back in the day. And what their mission was. Like their mission was to get up and explore every single day. They hunted, they looked for better shelter from the elements. They hunted for their food. They learned about fire and how to keep warm, right? They literally were from sun up to sundown on a mission. But somewhere along the line, we're like, we just want to be comfortable, right? We're like, so we stop looking for things to make us happy and to things to make us grow, and we just stay stagnant. I don't want to work because I just want to stay at home and watch Netflix all day. Or I don't want to work because I just want to, travel all the time, which is great. That's exactly what you want. You want to create the life that you want. But it's not at the expense of losing your happiness or losing your joy or, living off the government, right? You can do that in a proper way. And most of the rich people, like, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the most wealthiest people in the world, right? Okay, let's look at Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Gary Vee, Bob Proctor, all of those people, right? They don't work because they found something they're so passionate in that they get excited to do it all the time. So to them, it's not work. It's fun. They have fun doing it. So if that's not you, you need to figure out what you're passionate about and go and get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you just brought up the caveman. It reminds me of a movie that I watched with the kids, and I love animation movies, but I don't know if you ever seen The Croods.
Like bits and pieces, not.
Yeah, so
I
like
love cartoons too.
yeah, like the whole story is about a family, and the girl of the family is somebody with, the positive mind, who's interested, who's wanting more, like somebody with the drive. But her family is the type that's sheltering her. As soon as the dark comes, we get in our cave and we shut the door and we don't explore. So that just kind of reminded me of that movie, because that's how life is. Like life's always transforming, right? So this girl, she wants more. She wants to know what's out there and she wants to experience things. So she goes out of the cave one night and she finds another guy that's out there who she never thought any people existed. And he showed her what fire was. But at first she was scared shitless of it because she's never seen it, right? That's just like life. Things that scare us, we've maybe never seen them or experienced them before, or it's something we've seen, but we haven't experienced it. So the fear sets in because of the things we surround ourselves with, right? So if you look at your surroundings and that thing scares you, you'll never go for it because you'll be told it's scary. Don't do it, right? But if you surround yourself with people that aren't scared and people that are just like that and people that know, that is when you're going to experience the fire and know what it's like, and you cross that path of fear. That's so
true.
cool.
And I was on TikTok and there was this, I think he's like a therapist or something. And he was talking about how we're unconsciously teaching our kids not to take risks, right? So let's say your son is playing on the mantle, right? You automatically say, "Be careful, sweetie, don't fall," right? You're unconsciously teaching him not to take risks, but we have to take those risks in our lifetime. Like I'm an 80s baby, okay? I grew up in the 90s where we drank from the hose, where we played on thin ice, where we were in the woods all the time, and we built tree houses with abandoned wood and rusty nails in the forest that we found. Our sand was hard and covered in shit and sometimes cigarette butts and broken glass. Now you go to a play park and it's like rubber, right? So it's softer. You know, our slides burned us when we went down, and now everything is to protect and to shelter. So he was talking about, you know, just the small things in life. Like this little boy, he was just crossing not even a river. It was just like a little dribble of water, but he was crossing rocks. And you can hear mom saying, be careful, don't fall. If you fall, you're going to cut yourself. If you cut yourself, you're going to get hurt. If you get hurt, you're going to you're going to cry. Right? So automatically they're not learning, they're being told. But when you put your hand on the hot stove, you learn that never to do that again because the stove is hot. Right? I'm not saying like don't bat your kid's hand away, but sometimes we have to learn, but we're unconsciously teaching our children to play it safe in everything. And speaking of, I know we're going off topic here. During the pandemic, if you retreated and retracted and you pulled out all your savings and you budgeted and you picked up the coupon book and you said no a lot, and maybe you cut off like Netflix and all the lights are off, or you sold your house to downgrade, you're subconsciously teaching your children to retract and retreat when their crisis comes up.
Yep. It's so true. And if you think of it, like, if you simply think of it, if you have kids or not, like, think of anybody's kid from when they're born till when they go out on their own and make their decisions and they're an adult. They're always told that don't fall because you might, what if, always negative, right? So think of that. Now switch that to think that exact same kid grew up with the surroundings of a positive mind saying, go try, see what happens. And guess what? If that kid falls and hurts itself, he'll know next time to be careful, right? Mm-hmm. But that kid also knows that they learned from taking the risk, right? If that same kid just tries anything that comes to mind and they want to do it and they're like, I'm going to do it, they might fall, they might hurt themselves, but that's the same kid experiencing life to learn and grow and experience it for the decisions and the choices that the kid makes. So when that person's 18 years old and they're ready for the world and they're going to go out and do whatever it is they want to do, can you see the difference in the two people? Like the difference is the one that experienced everything is going to be more of a risk taker in life and do the things that they want and try it all and see what happens, where the other one's going to follow the norm. I'm using air quotations if you're listening on the podcast. Follow the norm, follow what they were told to do for 18 years. And usually those are the people too that don't do what it is they want to do because they don't even know themselves. They were told their entire life what they should or shouldn't do, right? Yep. And as a kid, that's what you do. You do what your parents and surroundings tell you.
Yep. And then it just goes further, right? You get a job, you're told what to do, what not to do. You're scolded when you do something wrong, right? Yep. It goes on into adulthood. But the power of the positive mind in a situation where I'm going to try this to see if it works. I don't know if it's going to work. Like Elon Musk, he invested all of his money into Tesla and he's like, I don't know if it's going to work. He's like, I had a 30% chance that it would work. Right. But he didn't know unless he tried. Right. It was like Peter Sage when he left out on his own, he had some business partners and he left all of his money on the table and he walked away. He didn't know if it was going to work, but he had to try. Right. And that's the thing is like, you have to be willing to take risks, but we're so afraid to take risks because of the negative thoughts that we think on a continued basis. And I want to do a little behavioral riddle. So I got it out of the book, The Happiness Advantage. It's the chapter on change is possible. So you are in a cage behind bars. The bars are made of titanium and your cage is empty. To survive, you must consume 240 tiny pellets of food every hour. The pellets are provided to you, but unfortunately are located in very small holes outside of your cage. So the process of reaching through the bars and actually grabbing a pellet initially takes you 30 seconds per pellet. If you can't learn to complete the task faster, you will only consume half the amount of nutrition you need and will eventually starve. What do you do? The answer is you expand the part of your brain in charge of this task so that you can become faster at retrieving pellets. And the same thing goes with your success.
Yeah.
Success is not a straight line. Love
No.
is not a straight line. Relationships are not a straight line. We are, I was looking at my husband's parents. They've been happily married for over 40 years. They are still so adorable. They like hold hands, they cuddle on the couch. We'll be like out walking and he grabs her hand and like it's like the perfect marriage that I'm very excited to follow in the footsteps of. But I didn't grow up like that. I grew up in a divorced families. Like I'm pretty sure there's three of us, four of us that are still married in our entire family, right? And so we're quick to get to the negative and kind of like wash it away and then hope that the grass is greener on the other side. And one person once said to me is don't hope that the grass is greener on the other side, water your grass, right? So if you're starting let's say you're starting a business, right? And you give it a go for like a month and you don't see results. You have to keep watering the plant because you don't plant the seed and then harvest a month later. It takes, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. Sometimes it takes years. What is it? Asparagus, right? It takes years for it to harvest. A raspberry bush, if you buy a raspberry bush, it takes a couple of years. Cherries come back every other year, right? But I don't cut the cherry tree down if I don't get fruit this year. I wait till next year. I keep watering it and fertilizing it. Same thing with your business. Same thing with your mindset.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what this entire episode is, right? It's that where are you putting your focus? Where are you giving your power to? Are you giving it to the positive and you're focusing on you and your wants and your goals and your success? Because wherever you put your focus is where you're going to see the results. Where focus goes, energy flows, right? We've said that so many times here. And it's true. If you have a negative life, that's all you need to see is the results, because whatever the results are in your life, you can see what's going on in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have to tell you, I'm not just saying this and bullshitting you and making all of this up. Before I got into any personal development, before I even sat down and monitored my thoughts, the results in my life were okay. Like I wasn't happy. I wasn't unhappy. I was kind of just like riding the day out. Like I didn't have much going on. And that's what was going on in my head too. I wasn't thinking about anything. I was just thinking about the same thing over and over, and I wasn't aware of my thoughts. And that's what happens is people get on this steady boat that they just do the same thing over and over and over again. Like I said a few minutes ago, people go decades of their life doing this. But when I started studying my mindset and I started slowing down for a second and looking at my results and how it matches and mirrors my thoughts and my mindset, that's when I excuse me, that's when I started seeing, like, holy shit, all I have to do is change what's going on in here and then it happens in life. And it's literally that simple. But where are you putting your power? Because you have everything inside you that it takes to do literally anything you want in life. So where are you putting your power? Where are you giving your energy to?
It's true, because conventional wisdom teaches us that once we get that promotion, we'll be happy. Once the kids are out of diapers, we'll be happy. Once I get that new job, I'll be happy. Once I get this, once I get this, once I get this, I will be happy. Once I lose the 5 pounds, I'll be happy. Once I do these things, happiness will follow. But new science is revealing that formula is backwards. happiness equals success, right? People who are successful are happy people, right? Then the riches come in. People are like, oh, when I get this, then I'll be rich. No, it's the more you serve, the more you're going to get. So the more you're going to receive. So happiness is in you. It's not outside of you. Take a look at Christmas. Christmas is over, right? Nobody's talking about it anymore. The magic is kind of gone. We're back to normal now. People took down their trees. People were so excited to I love this. Okay. So I'm watching TikTok, right? Because I love TikTok. Everybody knows that. And like it's November and people are so excited. They're putting up their trees. They're happy. They're feeling excited. And then December 26th, they're like, oh, I'm so sick of this shit. I need to take it down. And they take it down. They put their life back together. And then the magic is gone. It's just gone. That's temporarily happy. That's temporary happiness. You want to have the happiness day in and day out. Every day should be magical and feel like Christmas. And how do you do that? It's gratitude. I cry when I wake up in the morning. I woke up this morning. I slept in. It was wonderful. I woke up, looked out my window, and it is snowing and it's magic and it's covered. And I'm in my warm bed and I have my book and I grab my book and I start reading. And Donnie brings me coffee in bed. And I'm like, this is the life. This is what I'm working for every single day. Like, I feel so happy that it gives me like tears. And I want I want 1 billion other people to be on this journey with us.
I know, me too. And that's literally like I have a few thoughts when I first wake up in the morning, but that's one of them. It's that because I'm doing what I'm doing and experiencing this, I know it's possible for anyone, right? But I didn't know that. I didn't know that life could be simple. I didn't know that I could wake up without an alarm at 27. I didn't know that I could literally be with my children every single day. I didn't know that life was there for me because I didn't grow up seeing anybody do that in my family, let alone like my parents and my sister, let alone their parents and their parents. Like, you just didn't see that. But the thing is, so many people online have so many different ages. Like, you have to be honest with yourself. A lot of people are craving that. Like, they want that life, but why are you not stepping towards it? Right? That life is there for you. And when you get to that place in life and when you make the decision that, okay, I want that, what's the first step? Well, the first step is to talk to us because that's what we do. That's what we've created. But the thing is, once you step into that and you begin living that life, this all makes sense. It makes sense that the happiness starts with you. It makes sense that you can wake up in the morning and just smile and look over at your partner and know that today's going to be easy. Today's going to be awesome. Today's going to be something I've never experienced before. Right? And this is the life that can be lived. It really is.
And so people will ask, does it last? Does this happiness last? Because then death comes, right? People die. There's only one guarantee in life, and that is we are all going to die. Every single one of us. All right. For some reason, we try to push it out of our mind like it's not going to exist, that we're going to be invincible and that they're going to create this pill to make us live forever. One, you probably wouldn't want to because your body's going to fail. But two, you want to live your life to the best of the ability. And yes, it can last. It can last to the very last breath, right? And you can actually pass that happiness on. So a lot of people say, oh, I wasn't born happy, or I was born into a terrible family, or you can't teach old dog new tricks, which is bullshit because I have rescue dogs and you can teach them new tricks. It's just, what are you teaching them? It's what are you teaching yourself, right? If you're sitting in front of Netflix day in and day out, if you're scrolling social media day in and day out, not utilizing it to help you earn income, if you're not reading, if you're not doing something to better your mindset, then it's just each day is going to look like the next. Like, do you ever feel like you're in Groundhog Day? Like every day was like the last day? It can change. And so it has to start with If you don't want to read, get a mentor. Get somebody who's doing the reading and who's teaching what they are learning, because you need to put into action what you learn. And so we are going to be doing a webinar where I'm going to be showing you how to do this. So make sure that you join up at the webinar. We'll put the link down below. It's Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we will show you how to do this. But I have to tell you, I'm reading another book, because I'm always reading. I have one fun book, I like to call it, that I read before I go to bed, and then I usually read my studies and my personal development in the day. But it's a book. The book's called a man named, I think it's Ovi or Of, one or the other. And he's miserable. He's a miserable old man. His parents died when he was 16 years old. He found the love of his life on a train. He went through some shit, and he was a rule follower. He was told that he goes to work, and he likes math, right? So he's very analytical, like most of us. We like to know what the next step is going to be. We like to know that when 2 + 2 is 4, right? But if 2 + 2 isn't 4, but anyways, on with the book. So he's miserable old man, and his wife passed away 6 months ago, and now he's just trying to kill himself, right? He's been trying to kill himself in different ways, but something happens that always stops him from doing it. And it makes me think that the universe always is like always on our side, right? I feel like his wife is sending him signs. I'm not finished it yet, but I feel like his wife is sending him signs from the afterlife of, no, stay where you are. And so there's this like crazy cat that comes and like doing these crazy things, and the cat doesn't like anybody else, and he kind of like takes on the traits of the old man. And the neighbor next door, like all these things happen to keep him from dying. And that's our life, is that the universe is always on our side. It is always working for us. I highly recommend the book. I got it for Christmas. I'm not done yet, but it's fun. I cry and I laugh. It's sad and it's very funny. And Donnie's like, what is happening? Like, you have all these emotions. And I'll be like laughing out loud. I'm like, wow, this is like really good. Like I think it's a really well written book. And it's, I think a lot of people can relate, right? When we finally find happiness, but then we lose it, right? Like our parents aging and dying, a spouse dying. But you see who your friends are, and you see that the universe puts people and opportunities in your path to propel you forward, not to go backwards, not to die. It's a good one.
Sounds like an interesting book, but it is, right? So just thinking of the universe being on your side in every area of your life, like it really is. And it's also of where you're putting your attention, because just like the saying, when a new door or one door closes, another door opens, right? So if you're just looking at that door that closed and you're like, why? I didn't want you to close. Why did you close? And you're questioning that door closing. You can literally be standing in a room with 10 open doors and one of them shut, and you're worried about that one door. When you can look around you, see all of the doors, all of the opportunities, when you start opening your mind to it, right? It's just making that mind be aware and become open to all of the possibilities, not be so fixated and stuck on that one concept that you wanted so badly to work that didn't. Once again, the universe is here on our side. It didn't work for a reason, because you were meant to do something, be something, or be on a different path, right? So when something happens in your life, and that's a big lesson too that I've learned over the past few years, is that when something happens and it's the shittiest thing, and you're literally just sitting there and you're thinking like, why?
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that. I used to think, why? Like,
All
what
the
the
time.
hell? What? Right? But now when anything happens in my life that I didn't really want to happen, or it just happened and I'd never seen it coming, the first thing I ask myself is, what is the lesson in this? Like, what am I
Oh my
learning?
God, you're in my head.
It is.
I was going to say that. That's like Donnie and I too. We're like, shit's been happening. We're like, hey, what's the lesson? It's the first thing. It's not like, oh, whoa, this happened to me. It's what's the lesson?
Yeah. What is the lesson? Because when you find the lesson in everything, good and bad, you start to see that there is no bad, right? There is no bad out there. Everything in this life, including you, is joyful, is abundant, is pure, is energy, is light. Like, that's anything and everything that's here, including you.
Yep.
So really look at your life. Like, where are you giving your power? Do you have a positive mind? Because when you change anything that's holding you back, that's not positive, and you change it to only positive, and you allow your energy to go there in that way, that's when you're going to start to fuel everything in your life, including your success, your sex life, your work life, your friendships, all, like literally your entire life starts to blossom in every area when you feed it with positivity.
You can't have a negative and a positive thought at the same time. Someone once said that the negative thought is your ego and the positive thought is God or
Yeah.
spirit or source universe, right? So when you sit and you say, because you get those two thoughts, right? Can I do this? And then all of a sudden you'll hear like a yes, but then your ego saying no, right? You can't have a positive and negative at the same time. And yes, it takes work to live a positive lifestyle. It takes work. Like you have to unprogram like 35, 40 years worth of other shit that's in your head. So it does take work. It doesn't take a long time, but it does take daily effort. Just like brushing your teeth and getting dressed and drinking coffee and going to work. It's the same thing. It's an energy, and habits are energy, and habits need to have an action behind it. So
Yeah.
the more you fuel with the action, the more you fuel that energy, and the more things change. And we talk
Yeah.
about that a lot in our community. We talk about mantras, and we talk about affirmations and the power of repetition. Like we talk about that all the time. And auto suggestion. It's not a new concept. It's been around for thousands of years. It's just that why don't we do it? Because we're not taught it. They don't teach this in school. There's things that they don't teach in school, like how to make money. They teach you how to work for somebody else to collect an income, but they don't teach you how to make money.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk
So
about that in the next episode.
yeah, absolutely. Anyways, we could go on this topic forever because it's something that we're very passionate about, and we, like Sarah said a few minutes back, we want to be able to change billions of lives with this information, because everybody deserves an abundant life, and we're all here this one time to live life to the best of our ability, and enjoy literally everything and be as happy as we can. So we love this stuff. So everybody have an absolutely amazing week, and get out there, do something you love to do. Like, take some time for yourself. Even if it's just 30 minutes out of your day, do something for you, because we get so caught up in the hustle and bustle. And sometimes you're just like, it's 10 o'clock at night and we just want to go to bed. Before you go to bed, do something fun, move your energy, do something for you. So have an amazing week, everyone. And we'll see you back here on Thursday.
Bye.